Welcome to Cobra Kai Canada. I am your host, Alir, and today my guest is Salome Azizi.
Hi.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks for yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming. So let's get started here. So what made you pursue a career in acting?
I liked escaping my life. And so I wanted to escape and explore other people's lives. And that was the best way I could do it.
So was there like any like movies or like TV shows that kind of like, kind of influenced you, or any maybe you had like family members that were like acting or anything?
No, I think for me it was mostly like the actors that I really enjoyed. And they made it look so easy and effortless and natural. I loved who the characters that they portrayed. And I think for me, at the time, it was really like strong characters like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, those kind of guys. And I just loved watching them. And so they were my inspiration.
That's awesome. Oh my God, Robert De Niro movies and Al Pacino movies, you just can't go wrong with them, especially those like classics. Pacino, Scarface, obviously,
yeah,
Godfather, and De Niro. He's played like everything from like crime to comedy, and like
yeah,
he's been there, done that. So that guy's like so accomplished, and
yeah, they're so versatile and they're so amazing. They make you think acting is so easy.
Yeah, they definitely make it look easy, but like I don't think I could ever pull that off. And yeah, that's why they're stars, I guess. So yeah. So wasn't there a point in time in your life you kind of like put like acting on hold and you went to school, I think for law, I believe?
Well, yeah, I mean, no, at the time when I was doing law, I was only acting like, I don't think I was fully acting. I was fantasizing about acting, but I hadn't actually, I wasn't like brave enough to say it out loud because I think I hadn't fully embraced it. So I was like, oh, I'll do law and make lots of money, and then after I did law and started working, I realized that I hated it and that I really did want to go into acting. So then I went and I started doing a course, which was like a 2-year course at Questus Theatre in London. And then shortly after I finished that, I moved to America.
Oh, okay.
And that's the point where I stopped, because at that time I was married and I wasn't in Los Angeles, I was in San Francisco, and I know that part of my life got in the way, and that was the time when I stopped. But having said that, I hadn't really officially started it. I had just finished doing a course and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So you were just like, yeah, screw this. I'm just going to pursue my career in acting. And here you are. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you first like auditioned for Cobra Kai, did you know you were auditioning for like the Cheyenne part?
Well, I mean, obviously I knew the character's name was Cheyenne, but I didn't know like the extent of who she was, because that character didn't really exist. And at that point I wasn't familiar with Cobra Kai. I mean, I knew about the show, but I hadn't like been watching it. So I didn't know who the characters were per se. So that's all I knew. But also, in between the time that I auditioned and I heard about getting it, it was a really long time. So long that I'd even forgotten that I'd auditioned for it. So.
Oh, really? That long? Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was right during COVID. And
yeah.
I remember auditioning for it in my bedroom, and then I forgot about it, and my agent called me months after, and he was like, "They want you for Cobra Kai." Like, what?
Oh man, that's crazy. You were probably like so excited.
Oh, afterwards I was. And once I was like, "What's Cobra Kai?" What? And then I was like, "Oh my God, okay." Then I was like, yeah, I was super excited, crazy excited.
That's hilarious. What's funny is, so like when you auditioned, so you did like a video audition, kind of like on Skype or something like that. Is that kind of how it worked out?
Yeah, you tape it. It's a self-tape. You tape it on your camera and then you'd send it in.
Oh, that's crazy. And so you haven't heard it from them in like weeks or months, right? Just because
It
like
was months.
obviously,
I forgot that I even did this audition.
yeah, because technically, wouldn't they like kind of like let you know like weeks? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
like
God! If like here it's the city of quick yeses and really long
right,
no. So if they want you
yeah,
for something, you know, in the next, it's like at the
that's what I
max
mean.
4 or 5 days a week, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
usually with TV shows, it's like usually the next day or the day after or something.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'd totally forgotten about this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like what you just said earlier, right? Just because like the whole pandemic when it all started, it just put a halt onto like everything. So that's probably why. So, but who knows? Maybe that worked into your favor. So
Maybe the person who was supposed to do it, maybe they hired somebody else and she got COVID. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, yeah. But I'm glad you got it. That's awesome, man. Yeah. So so you said you weren't like really too familiar with the franchise like prior to like auditioning, correct?
Yeah, no, I was Karate Kid I'd watched and I was a big fan of it. Yeah. And that
Right.
was the extent of my my awareness.
Right, right. Did you watch like all like 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah. Then I binged. I think I watched it in 2 days or something.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of people I talk to, everybody likes 1 and 2 the best, but like 3 seems like the least favorite out of everybody. So that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Yeah. So okay, here's a question. What is it about the Cheyenne character that you think makes her like attracted to Terry Silver?
I think it's his success.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point he's being so he's such a good guy, isn't he? So,
Yeah, well, he
and
comes as a good guy. Yeah,
yeah,
at the
he's very
beginning.
successful, he's smart, he's strong, he's a good guy. He's like
Yeah.
helping her and
Mm-hmm.
supporting her cause. So I mean,
Right.
and they're, you know, I guess they're in love, or she's in love with him.
Interesting. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get back to that in a second, but like, okay, let's season 4, episode 1, your episode. So like when he arrived at Terry's house, and you know, you saw them like talking to each other or whatever, you approached them, and Terry says, hey, like he says, or Kreese says to Terry, hey, you know, did you like tie the knot or whatever? And you came in and you said, no, we're not married, we're just enjoying the journey for now. So can you kind of confirm what that means? Because like I know everybody officially says like you and Terry are like boyfriend girlfriend, but that line makes me think otherwise, because like I don't know what that means.
Well, I think that for Cheyenne, she's very like free and new age and open, and you
That's
know,
true.
wants to kind of like doesn't really want to fit into the traditional framework of like a relationship or marriage.
Yeah.
So I think for her, it's just like, oh, we're just enjoying each other, and we'll see where it goes, and you know, like
Yeah, kind of like maybe like go with the flow kind of thing. Who knows?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was just thinking like, let's just think like hypothetically, let's just say like that was I'm Terry Silver or whatever, right? And I'm standing there, you came into my house, and some chick, you know, she comes right next to me, and you're like, hey, you tie the knot, and that girl next to me goes, oh, you know, just enjoying the journey. You know what I mean? What would you think? Like, that's what I'm trying to like get at. You'd be like, what, is it a fling? Is it a like it could mean,
No,
I guess it could mean anything, right?
I think personally, I would just think that you guys are in a very, you're probably in a relationship that's not as serious or as early on in the relationship. It's in the
Right.
early stages of a relationship.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're like, it's just like when somebody says, this is my lover instead of this is my boyfriend. I don't know. It's just more
That's what I mean. It's like, yeah. So I think that, yeah, it's interesting. I think they did that on purpose to make like people like me think about it. So add a little more drama.
Yeah, but also it's a very California thing, I think.
That's probably why. Yeah.
These
I don't
days,
understand. Yeah. I don't understand
the
the Cali vibes. Yeah. So
yeah.
interesting. So let me ask you this now. The house where you shot your scene, was that in Atlanta? Did you guys shoot
That
that in
was
Atlanta?
in Florida, Jacksonville.
Oh, okay, that's interesting because most of like Cobra Kai and like everybody I talked to, like it was all filmed in Atlanta. So actually,
Well,
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they're based out of Atlanta, but they were trying to be like in Malibu, right? And
Yeah.
that was probably the place that looked like Malibu.
Yeah, they did have palm trees, so that I never come to think about it, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah. So that house where you shot your scene, obviously it belonged to somebody, right? They
Yeah, that's my house. I live there.
It was a nice house. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what I wanted to ask you, those cars, who did those cars belong to? Remember those, what was it, 2-3 cars out front?
Yeah, we had a Cobra, Ferrari, and was it the other one was a Mercedes? I can't remember. But
I can't remember. Yeah, I know. I remember the Ferrari.
Yeah. So no, I think they rented them for the day.
Oh yeah. Did you get like a chance to like, hey, let me take it for a spin. I gotta go to the store.
Oh my god, I wish. But they literally had bodyguards.
Oh, really? Oh,
guarding
really?
the cars. Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow.
Well, you know, there's security guards around the premises, especially because it's a private house, just to make sure that people don't go where they're not supposed to, or things don't get damaged, etc.
Yeah, that's true. You never know these days.
At the cars, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, what was your experience like working with Thomas and Martin? But like, let's start with Thomas first.
I think he was really sweet. I'd never met either of them before. He was really sweet and calm and completely like off book, knew everything. He was so professional and I really liked him. I really, really liked both of them. I thought they were fantastic and they made me feel really at home and welcome on set.
Yeah, they're very professional, and it's funny because like Thomas, he's kind of been like out of the picture, you know, acting for quite a while. So, and I know he's like
writing, right? He's been
that's what I heard. Yeah, and he's a private guy as well, so you don't really hear much of him, and I respect that. Actually, he kind of stays out of the spotlight. He just does his thing, and when he comes to work, he just, you know, comes to work and does his thing.
He's when he was offered to come on, his kids were like, "Dad, you gotta do it! You gotta go! It's gonna be so good!" You know, because he was like not, you know, he's been off for a while.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm glad he made an appearance, and you know, it was like long time coming. So yeah, everybody loves his character. You know what I mean? It's awesome. So yeah, so did you get a chance to like hang out with either like Thomas or Martin like offset and get to know like all one another?
I hung out a lot with Martin because what happened was when I was on the plane there from LA, I think, okay. I was sitting on the plane, and then there was this guy in front of me, and he was in first class, and he had his phone on speaker, and he was having a conversation, and I was just like, oh my god, so annoying. What is this guy doing? Why can't he put it up? And then people would come in to sit on the plane, and they would just take a double take. They'd be like, oh. And I was like, I bet you that guy's a celebrity or something.
He's famous.
Yeah. And then once we landed, he got up, he turned around, and it was Martin, and I was like, hi!
Really? Oh wow.
I'm doing a scene with you. And he was like, oh yeah, Cheyenne, how are you? And so we started walking together to get our luggage, and we got in the same car, and we went to the location.
Oh, man.
So yeah, we hung out, we became really good friends, and then over the week that I was there, and then we'd like go for a stroll, and like, you know, he likes to smoke his cigars, and
his cigars, his Cuban cigars.
Yeah, he wanted to buy a watch one day, and so we were strolling downtown and smoking cigars.
Was that your first time?
Good. Oh my god! It was great. It was really good.
Was that your first time smoking a cigar?
I mean, I'm not a big cigar smoker. I had tried it before, but I can never. I was mostly holding it and going, "Oh my god,
just trying to look cool and stuff."
Yeah, I was trying. I know. Being
man,
yeah, it was fun.
That's crazy. That's bizarre. You guys got in the same flight going to like, you know, same destination to shoot Cobra Kai. What the heck, man? What the hell's the odds on that, man? That's pretty cool. Wow. That is awesome, man. So let me ask you this now. Was there any scenes that you guys shot that didn't make it on the episode?
Nope.
Everything you guys shot pretty much made like the episode, right?
It was the same. Yeah. I think when I first auditioned for it, there was probably there was an extra scene that we never shot it. They just they took it out for some reason.
They just said just like cut it out, and you guys just shot like what you guys had to do.
Yeah, and then but we had all the scenes.
That's awesome. Okay. No, it's because a couple of the other cast members I interviewed, there was they told me like some funny stuff that they did, and it was like a couple of the scenes didn't make it, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I wish it did. It was like some funny scenes and stuff, but they have their ideas, so I was just curious. I thought I'd ask you about that because you're shooting with Martin and Thomas, so like two big celebrities and stuff like that. So awesome. So it's funny. I hope the big three, John, Josh, and Hayden, give us a little backstory to the Cheyenne character, because your character is basically involved with like, two major characters. So we need to know like how like you and Terry met. You know what I mean? We gotta figure out something here.
Yeah, I think we should start some kind of movement to bring Cheyenne back. Okay, that's what I think.
Yeah. Well,
hashtag bring Cheyenne back.
Yeah, I'll start a hashtag. Yeah, exactly. We'll start that on Twitter tonight. Yeah, man. It's interesting because like if you think about it, okay, so because you meet like Kreese, right? Like at Terry's house and stuff like that, and all of a sudden this guy gets sent to prison. And Terry Silver starts, getting a little crazy now. And he ignored your texts a few times. So, like, yeah, you're just bound to come back because now you're probably curious.
I need to show up at his house and give him a bloody medicine.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's just like, there's no way, like, you're going to be curious because, like, obviously, because he didn't respond to the texts and stuff like that. So, you
ignore Cheyenne, like
yeah, man. So he's gonna tell you something. Yeah. So that'll be interesting, man. So I can't wait.
Start my own thing and then like meet them at the finals or something. With my own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. So yeah, but I'm sure eventually there will be a backstory because I know your character's definitely curious to see like what the hell's going on, with Terry and and I'm sure you're gonna find out sooner or later about like Kreese being sent to prison. So yeah. So and plus Terry now he's getting a little nutty over there. So it'll be interesting. So let's switch it up a little. So I know you've been on like other shows as well, such as Stargate Origins and Ray Donovan. Tell me about a little of those, like about that experience with Stargate first, I guess.
Stargate was probably one of the most difficult acting roles I've ever done in the history of my because it was done in ancient Egyptian.
I heard you had to speak or learn it.
I did. I had to learn ancient Egyptian.
Ancient Egyptian, yeah.
So we had a tutor that was on the actual Stargate original Stargate movie,
right?
And it was really difficult. And then also the costumes that I wore were really uncomfortable. And
yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I can imagine. Jeez.
And then headpiece that was this big and and then they wear these huge contact lenses that I couldn't see through.
Oh boy.
All yellow or something. And I literally had to have people helping me walk from here to there, anything. And then ancient Egyptian, and it was just a mess. It was a mess.
That's crazy.
Yeah. but
That's
it was
crazy.
really stressful, especially it was like really stressful.
Yeah, yeah, you were in a lot of episodes. I remember that, and it seemed like you, yeah, quite
Yeah,
often. Like the Ray Donovan one. Now you are like, didn't you play as a spy? I think.
I was a spy who was pretending to be a doctor.
Right.
But I was,
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
yeah, I was an Israeli spy, and then
Yeah.
it was really fun. I loved beating him up.
Yeah. Speaking of beating up, weren't you in American Fighter? I didn't watch that movie. I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. And weren't you like involved in like some fight scene or something? Because it was that movie's based on like underground fighting, I believe, or something.
Yeah, the movie really reminded me of Karate Kid, because it was kind of Karate Kid and like whoever the immigrant is, that like an immigrant karate, you know, and vessels. So I played the mother of this kid that escaped to Iran during the war, the late 70s. And then, so in the first movie, I only had a small part where I'm just like, where I'm like helping escape the country. In the second one, it was never enough. I was never in a fight, because in the second one, I get really sick, and my son does underground fighting to raise money to bring my character back.
Right.
But yeah, no, unfortunately I wasn't involved in any fighting.
Oh, okay. And I definitely got to check that movie out. I heard it was actually pretty good, so
Yeah.
I'll definitely put that on my list. Yeah. So let me ask you this now. What sort of acting roles will you be seeking in the future? Is there like any type of like genre you prefer to be in? Do you prefer any like, you know, like say like action, comedy, or romance, drama?
You know, I think for the most part, I've always liked to do drama, or like, you know, I like to play like adventurous, like action drama based spies or whatever.
Yeah.
But recently I've been really getting into comedy.
Awesome. So, that's my favorite.
Yeah, and I really want to explore that a lot more. So.
Yeah. I love comedy. Like I say this on so many of my interviews, is like I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. So yeah. I just love Jim Carrey, and he's like one of my favorite, like, you know, type of like for comedy movies and stuff, at least. So yeah. So what about like favorite actors or actresses?
I mean, I aspire to so many, but I think that the ones that are a constant for me are obviously like, you know, like he's my favorite. I love him.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Yeah.
In an elevator. I didn't anything because I was like,
oh man!
Why didn't you say anything? One thing, like I could have said Salome, and he'd be like, "Oh, I did a play about Salome," and then conversation. But I didn't.
Oh man!
I liked Angelina Jolie. I think she's really good. Johnny Depp. Oh my God, like all these people, like I'm old school. So.
Yeah, no, I love Johnny Depp. I remember his older movies like Donnie Brasco, Blow. Those were like my total favorite. Oh man, I love those movies. You know what? I'm probably gonna watch one of those tonight now. So you gave me an idea. I haven't watched it in a while. So, oh man. So
I think I just watched Johnny Bird. Yeah, I just watched something with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay, let me ask you this now. Of all the roles you have played, which is your favorite in your whole like acting career?
Oh, well, the one that in Ray Donovan, I love that because I thought that was really fun.
Okay, the Spike, yeah.
So I really like that, and then I think I really like Cheyenne too, but I just wish I had more opportunity to explore her because I think she's got she's quite funny, interesting things that you could discover about her.
Yeah, I think there's more coming for the Cheyenne character, so that's my gut instinct. So, but yeah, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So this is the last question. So like, you've been in the industry for a while now. So what advice would you give to someone who's aspiring to be like an actor?
So I think that the most important thing is to get training, to be constantly training, go to studios, classes. I don't care if you've got like amazing skills that inherent to you, but you've got to get trained. You know what I mean? Because everyone comes in and they're like, oh my God, it's so easy, I can do it. But then
it's not always like that.
It's not that easy. You might get lucky, but you have to make sure. Oh, and also make sure you have money to support yourself.
That helps. Yeah, that definitely helps. Oh man. So Salome, that was thank you for coming. This was like really fun. I had a blast with you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Great.
So
bring Cheyenne back.
Yeah. She will, trust me. And when season 5 comes out and stuff, I would love for you to come back and we can do another interview and do this again.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So so that's it for Cobra Kai Canada. Until next time. Peace.
Okay, bye.